Zach, certainly the running game hasn't been going like you guys would have hoped. What have you seen so far in the last 3 games, and maybe especially Thursday?
Yeah, it's always one of those things where you're trying to run the football, and maybe we're in some heavier sets, and the team that you're facing is also, ready for that too, and so we're trying to have that, physical downhill run game and get to some of our, power inside zone type stuff, and those safeties are coming down and being a factor, and so we've got to analyze that as coaches and see what the best thing is for our offense and our run game, but. You're seeing a lot of different things. Being in some second and longs in certain situations can make it tough, and we got to do a better job on first downs and second downs to get us to more manageable third downs, or moving the chains early in those downs. Our backs have seen, where at certain times they're missing a few things, and they're seeing it and they're working on it, and we're trying to show them the exact looks and where those holes are going to be and where those the block combinations are going to happen, so we can be more effective on those third and shorts, or in our heavier sets where there's a lot of action going on. So we got to do a better job up front and in the backfield, and then but also as us as coaches designing stuff where we're successful with our run game.
Person said that he thinks. He basically said Robert Mahomes going to be playing more this week.
Mm-hmm.
What have you seen from Rob, and what do you guys like from him, and also what has allowed him to maybe be getting more playing time?
Yeah, Rob is one of those physical running backs who's got great balance. He can run through tackles. He's been doing a good job hitting it downhill and finding those holes. So we're going to use him a little bit more. But again, honestly, it comes back to all those guys in that room are going to play. And we feel comfortable with all those guys too. Whether it's Alex or Wolf has done a great job hitting things downhill too. So again, it's that group is hungry. I know our O-line is hungry, and they're going to be excited to get out to practice here today.
I know some running backs, they kind of say they like to get a rhythm, work up a sweat, get 5, 6, 7 carries in a row, and kind of get going. Some of the better elite backs. I mean, how do you weigh that balance when you want to get all 3 of these guys action and with Alex and Ryan splitting carries, and maybe when one guy getting the majority of the carries might be a better option.
Right. I think you're kind of feeling that through a week with what run game we have in practice, and then you're feeling that out within a game. Obviously, you go into a game with a plan on your rotation, especially at that position, but ultimately it's kind of who's seeing it and who's feeling it, once we get into it. And if a guy is toting it really well and is really productive, then, we'll give him more carries. But I think you're always trying to feel that out. The other side of that is, how long are you going to, wait for a guy to break himself into a game, or are we giving him enough carries to break himself into a game? So that's the give and take with that whole process with the backs.
How kind of hard is it to kind of balance that in the game? Because obviously you're focused on what player you're going to call next,
Mm-hmm.
but now you got to kind of sprinkle in at times which player you're going to put in certain spots.
Yeah, we're talking about that in between series. How'd that series go? Did we miss anything? What runs we need to come back to? Who needs to be in on certain things? Where's that rotation going? And then Coach Marks, does a good job of feeling that out within a drive. It's not always myself or Coach Harsin going, hey, Wolpen needs to be in this next play or something like that. It's, Coach Mark's kind of seeing, what's happening. All right, let's put in Rob or let's put in Alex or, whatever it is within a drive, and then we're kind of trying to get on the same page in between drives.
Yeah, it's just kind of noticeable. Robert got the first 2 carries of the game, and then you get another one the rest of the game. I mean, is that just the way that it worked out, or why was he the guy that got the first 2 carries?
Yeah, I guess that's just kind of the way it ended up working out, and it just that's exactly that's what happened. No real response to that one.
We saw Jake Rowe in the Wildcat.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can tell us what it's called when he's actually back there. But how did you guys come up with that?
It's a name that's related to him, but we'll keep that one to the chest. But yeah. just a way to get Jake or our certain playmakers, the ball, and we know he's going to get a touch, and he's that savvy guy, especially down in that goal line red zone area where he's just going to kind of feel things out and kind of see his blockers and kind of slip through stuff, and we felt like it was going to be a good wrinkle, and it happened to be, so that was fun. I know he enjoyed it.
What was the key to that play working as well as it
Our O-line got some good push. Jake did a good job letting it kind of develop rather than just hitting it hard, and ended up kind of washing some things and some bodies kind of to the side and then slipping it back. So it was just a really good job of him being patient and up front getting push.
Can you see on film at all, like, is the defense, like, what the heck is that guy doing back there? I mean, did they catch anybody off guard, or did they lined up fairly well?
That's a good question. And then we got Montel coming across the formation too, and so I'm sure they're kind of feeling it out a little bit. That's what you hope as a coach. You're putting some guys in some different positions where the defense is trying to figure it out and then plan slower.
Speaking of Montel, how do you think he performed Thursday?
I thought Montel played great. Obviously, we had no turnovers, and that was a big factor, especially coming off the first two games. I felt like he did a great job in the pass game. He was obviously threw for a high percentage, was accurate with his throws, taking back a few of those. I know he wanted to complete every single one of those, but I thought he did a good job managing the game. He ran very hard, and that quarterback run game really helped things out, whether it was, on first downs or even third downs. Adding that to the mix in our offense has been a fun change. So
You mentioned the plays, with Jake, and you've had a couple end arounds, but it hasn't really been a ton of trick plays, ton of crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like I don't know if conservative is the right word, but do you feel like there's more there to kind of open things up a little bit in terms of being a little more dynamic and things like that?
Definitely, yeah. And looking back at that game, the last one here, definitely felt like I called it a little safe, and like we knew we wanted to run it, and so we were in a good position, and we just kind of felt like we were going to wear them out. So there's definitely more room for some gadgets and some funk and some tricks and things like that. And it's just kind of feeling the game and finding the right times for those, as well.
And maybe not even just trick plays, but
Mm-hmm.
just more
shots
more bigger type plays.
Yep.
Is that fair to say too?
It is, yeah. I agree.
With Montel's 28-yard touchdown run,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of curious, are there times up in the box where you can see a play that's going to hit big before this ball even is snapped? Because that was kind of one of those where it looked like you guys, people running back in motion, just got a really good look there.
Yeah, we got the mic to come out of the box and try to cover the back, and that lightened things up, and so yeah, right away you could tell this could be big. So yeah.
A couple more guys.
When you look at Virginia defensively, you look at kind of up the middle, they have, All-America safety and
Yep.
linebacker out there. What stands out to you? And I guess those two guys in particular seem like they're a big challenge.
Yeah, it's a good-looking team. All around, they got good size. Their Mike linebacker, 53, is really good. He's strong. He's active. Both guys in the middle, can play. And then number 3, their safeties, long and rangy, and it's obviously been very productive, for them for a long time. So they've got some good experience there. Their D-line's good, solid and thick. That was one of the things that you're looking at on film right away is just their overall size and just, it looks like a big-time football team. So their corners are long. They're a little thicker too, and so they try to get hands on the receivers and play some man coverage. And so our guys got to do a good job of winning those one-on-ones and getting off, in those situations.
Does it resemble playing like a BYU team? Like men and
Yeah,
went over and
definitely. There's a lot of similarities. Obviously, it's his defense, and so we're going to be ready for whatever. He likes to do a lot of different things with his pressures, and we've got to be able to adjust in a game and stick to what we do offensively.
Thanks, Coach Hars, about Brett obviously didn't play last week, but he's pretty involved, I guess, in game prep, and was even talking to Montel about certain things on the sidelines. What did you see from Brett that couldn't play, but still being as involved as he could?
Yeah, Brett's done a phenomenal job. It's not easy being in that situation where, he's a starter and then he gets hurt and you're seeing somebody else play. But like I've said through the beginning, Montel and Brett get along really well. There's no animosity in that room at all. And they kind of feed off each other and help each other out, no matter who's in or what the situation is. So Brett did a great job handling that whole week, situationally doing whatever he could to help, whether it was the offense or, Montel in general. And through the game, it's a great resource for Montel to be able to bounce, what they're seeing, both, Brett on the sideline and Montel in the game. And, getting a clear picture of what's going on and how, we can manage that game.
All right, thanks, Zach.
Yep, thanks, guys.